welcome back to WCS Season 2 Finals. We've already kicked off with a fantastic game. Jaedong advancing, just unbelievable, he was ruthless.
Yeah, he was brutal in that game. He gave no room to Rain to make any mistakes, and then he took advantage of every single one that Rain did make. So that makes him a clear winner in that 2-0. Very impressive matchup. But what about the other one, Paul?
Yeah, well, in the other game, in fact, let's show you the bracket as to how it's worked out, because in the other game, MC has come through against Welmu, but not as straightforward as many would have predicted. It was a 2-1 victory in the end, so tight matchup for him. And now we get the battle of MC versus Jaedong. Couple of big fan favorites.
I'm very excited for this matchup between Jaedong and MC. MC, like you said, Paul, had to go a little bit further to take that first win, but nonetheless, a win is a win. That momentum carries through, and both of these guys now, you can rest so well tonight if you win this match. You don't have to worry about that final matchup tomorrow morning. It's going to be a great move for whoever wins, really.
Yeah, no, you make a valid point. Let's show you the next matchup that we've got. It is the winner's match. And it's going to be MC versus Jaedong, as you can see on your screen. Both Koreans, of course, and both multiple champions in the past. There's no real need to introduce them, but we're going to do it anyway. Chobra.
All right, well, let's kick it off with the first player we're going to meet, everyone. Those of you guys here, we just saw him on stage with a brilliant 2-0 against Rain. It's going to be none other than Jaedong.
He goes head-to-head with a man who is Europe's favourite adopted son, a double champion in the past already. He is the one and only SKMC! Okay, time to get our game faces on. This is the winner's final. The winner takes their place in the quarter-final. It's time for our game with your commentary team of Artosis and Apollo.
Thank you so much, Red Eye. Apollo, here we are, two of the biggest winners ever in esports history going at it. Are we underestimating MC? Are we overestimating Jaedong when it looks like after that match he can win?
Jaedong looked incredible versus Rain, but this is the boss toss here. This is SKMC, who's had a difficult 2013 so far, but is rising back with his results.
Yeah.
He got to a semi-final, the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai, not too long ago, and that was when he really perked up again. And throughout that tournament, I'd like to remind you, he did beat Jaedong on the way to that semi-final, 2-1.
That's true, but with how Jaedong just played against Rain, who is definitely people would consider right now a step above MC, it's looking like Jaedong may be able to knock MC out this time.
I think Jaedong is a favorite here for this series, but we'll see how games can go. As we expected, and a lot of other people did as well, that Rain would be able to beat Jaedong, but that didn't happen. We'll see what can happen between these two players. Jaedong looking glorious so far at this tournament. Absolutely stellar performance to kick off the tournament. And we'll see if MC can do just as well as he did, because I heard he played pretty well against Welmu as well, closing up that game 2-1, and now we are here sitting in the winner's match.
Well, I would say that MC is a player that always plays his best. This guy has been on that stage more times than anybody.
Yeah.
He travels the most, he's won the most tournaments, he's won the most money. He knows how to win in every situation. So I think where he's going to bring his absolute best game, whereas Rain, he played well, but it didn't seem quite like the perfect Rain we sometimes see back in Korea.
Yeah, that's right. You know, MC in StarCraft 2 has been to so many finals. He even tweeted out just before this begun that he was very, very shy of the $400,000 mark when it comes to his prize earnings in StarCraft 2. He's the highest earning player of StarCraft 2 of all time. He's the highest earning Protoss player by a distance.
Yes, he certainly is, and I think he will remain that way, Apollo. The guy is everywhere. Well, looks like we have the map vetoes starting here. Derelict Watcher and Aklon Waste going out. pretty much like you'd expect, like from the last series.
Yeah, and Star Station, another just very normal map here for Protoss players, and MC, of course, being a Protoss player, is going to eliminate 2 maps here. They both eliminate 2. Derelict Watcher and Star Station are 2 maps that really stand out in win percentages and how races do against each other. When it comes to Protoss versus Zerg, Protoss players don't have the best time there.
No, they certainly do not. And there goes Neo Planet S as well. So it's actually the exact same 3 maps as last time. What do you think about that, Apollo?
I think this is just very standard, I think is the best way to describe it here. This is what we'll see for a lot of Zerg versus Protoss games. The order, though, is the thing that we'll have to see is different, because that's what I think when it comes to Zerg versus Protoss is the change that we'll see when it comes to the veto system. Which map do we begin on?
It's a good point. You know, you want to start on a map that you're pretty comfortable on overall. You know, you want to pick off that first win because it's going to give you a little bit of a comfort barrier going into game number 2, where like you can either win out right there, or if you lose, it's not that big a deal. You get at least 1 more game.
Artosis, let me just ask something really briefly here. Jaedong, of course, being the tyrant himself from Brood War, we all know the name Lee Jaedong.
Of course.
Back in Brood War, what was MC to Jaedong? He was nothing.
He was absolutely less than nothing. He was just an NBC B-teamer who came close once to qualifying for the leagues that Jaedong won like 5-6 times. So really, he wasn't anything back there. But you know what? This is StarCraft 2. This is MC's game, not Jaedong's game. MC is the biggest winner of all time. MC is the biggest name in StarCraft 2.
Do you think that that can anger Jaedong towards this series? He's already lost to him once at the Entire Stream Masters not too long ago. He's playing him right now on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. He doesn't want to lose to that person you described just now.
Certainly he does not. And I tell you what, if I'm Jaedong, one of the greatest players of all time, I probably have a list of the pros in StarCraft 2 that I want to kill in front of a huge crowd. And I tell you what, MC's at the top of that list.
All right, well, we'll see if that can come true here. Will Jaedong go through in first place of Group A? This is what this all means. This winner's match decides who is the first player of the Season 2 finals to make it to top 8, to make it to the quarterfinals that will be played out tomorrow afternoon. One of these players just gets to win it, take a rest and chill out, disappear, and just think about tomorrow's games, where the other player will have to face off against the winner of Rain and Wellmu that are playing the losers match at the same time.
Well, we'll see how they do in that one, but first we have to figure out who actually wins this. Our first map, Apollo, Newkirk Precinct.
Changed up from Belshir Vestige, where Jaedong played previously.
It's about as different a map as you can get from Belshir Vestige. This is a map where if we go into the extreme long game, swarm hosts become an issue for Protoss, so they're going to want to kill you before the extreme end game.
And it's SKMC, man, one of the most aggressive Protoss players there is, ever been, actually, when I think about it. And MC described in a winner's interview, or a pre-game interview, I think it was, in the Premier League of Europe, he said, "My downfall is that I'm too aggressive. I'm overly aggressive. And it causes losses."
I would have to agree with that. Sometimes he overextends with his attacks, just counting on his own micro too much. But if Jaedong can scout, once again, what MC is doing early on, it's going to be a good place for him.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think compared to the previous game, if Jaedong scouts what's coming, I think he almost wins. If he scouts what's coming against Rain, then maybe he has to deal with it. It's a different scenario, because MC will throw a lot of money into being aggressive as we get ready to begin the second series of the day. Down here, this guy really does not need an introduction as the red Protoss player. It is SKMC, the boss toss, President Toss.
A fan favorite for sure. People making a lot of noise for him. But I feel like they might even be favoring this guy down here in the bottom left, the Zerg player. Give it up for E.G. Jaedong.
An incredible start to his weekend here at the WCS Season 2 Finals. Let's see if he can continue through with it now, going into map number 2, or game number 2, should I say, against another Protoss player. One big advantage that Jaedong's had going into this is that his group was full of Protoss. He only had to really focus his practice in one direction.
Whereas they're probably playing more PvP. You know, just frankly, I think that's the case. Maybe Rain practiced a little bit more PvZ because he knew he'd be playing against Jaedong, but in the case of MC, he may have thought, okay, I'm going to beat Wellmu, and then I'm going to play Rain and beat him and be out, so I'm just going to play PvP. So that definitely could be something. I think a lot of players in this tournament have underprepared against Zerg.
I agree with that, and that could be one of Jaedong's biggest strengths to doing well in this tournament. People just aren't expecting many Zergs to go into the round of 8. There's only 2, Jaedong and Scarlet.
That's right.
And Jaedong looks in prime position to be able to advance to the round of 8, but let's see if SKMC can mess up his day.
Well, he's going to try his best to do so, and MC has messed up many a pro gamer's day, many a legend's day, as he is the premier legend in StarCraft 2 at the moment anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like it's just going to be a normal Forge Fast expansion against just a normal pool into hatchery first.
I mean, MC is a player that, against Zerg players, will always go Forge every single game. Is there something you could highlight of the reasoning why he always goes Forge over Nexus? Like every single game, it's like 17, Forge, and then the Nexus is followed, compared to Protoss players that like to go Nexus first.
You know, I think it's just the safety aspect. If you put the Forge up before the Nexus, Zerglings literally never get in, ever. And if 3 Zerglings or more get into your base as a Protoss player, that's almost game ending in the hands of someone like Jaedong, who has the APM, who has the speed and skill to keep those Zerglings alive, scout everything, harass your economy, etc. So I think it's just MC giving a nod towards that danger and deciding that no matter what, he's not getting behind in that way.
All right, so I really want to bring up this point here. Autosis, the probe has escaped. There's a probe in the top left of the map here. He's going to go in and scout this base. If he doesn't reveal it, he may get an advantage through this. Jaedong now, does he see it? Huh? Okay, so he does see it. It is revealed. So Jaedong knows that there's a probe out there, active.
Yeah, it's almost surprising that MC let the hatchery see the probe. You know, if you can scout the third base, you basically know what's going on. And if you can keep that probe alive, we've all seen what a hidden pylon can do to Zerg early on.
Well, it is gone to park up on a mineral patch for now and is going to hide away for the time being by the looks of it all. Looks like he's now decided to go home. So we talked about MC being a very super aggressive player and Jaedong being the guy that's going to have to react a lot to what happens in this game. What kind of things can we see from MC as an aggressive player on this map?
Well, you know what? He has a lot of different options. You can open up with some sort of Phoenix play, and that can go into a Colossus push, an Immortal Colossus push. It can even go into a fast Warp Prism designed to force field the ramp. That's definitely a build that has some popularity here.
All right, we'll see which one MC does choose. There is a pylon finishing in the main base. Might be the location for his tech. He does have the right amount of money now, more than enough money to throw down his tech. There seems to be the Stargate, and Jaedong with Noble is slightly left. Not seen it yet. Very close, but a little bit too far.
I think he'll be seeing that pretty soon, but there is a Stalker coming out just in case these Overlords get a little bit too frisky and go too deep inside the base.
All right, behind that, Jaedong now getting Zergling speed nice and early, a little bit faster than usual. I think that really is adapting to who he's playing against.
Yeah.
Before, he always rushed to layup before Zergling speed, to go straight to the Hydralisk Den, to be able to set himself up for the mid game, eliminating potential threats in the early stages. He's building 12 Zerglings now as he sees the Zealot and Stalker moving out as well.
Well, this shows the pure brilliance that Jaedong is, Apollo. He knows the difference between the players. MC is a player, you have to worry about him in the early to late mid-game, whereas Rain, that's a player that starts to get scary in the late mid-game, but really, in a longer game, is going to do better. So Jaedong is just kind of adapting himself, and oh my god.
Is he going to counterattack? It hasn't been seen. Neither of the players know about this. I think is Jaedong going to come back, or does he counterattack? I'm feeling counterattack, which is why the first thing I said was counterattack. It's open.
It is open, but I think he's going to put a probe there. He's about to have a sentry as well. Oh, this could be big. But
if those Zerglings get into the main.
Don't forget there's an Oracle on the way, Apollo. And with these few units, the Speedling's coming up, starting to surround these units. Some nice micro there by MC.
Jaedong's got to deal with this counter. Well, he's going to deal with this counter attack, but likewise, he needs to deal with an Oracle inside his main base. He's dealing with the Zealot Stalker, but I really don't think he's anticipating the Oracle. He comes in and immediately is going to target down a Queen here. And I don't even know what happened to the counterattack Zerglings. They were on the third base. They haven't got into the mineral line.
They're just chilling there, and in fact come up to help surround these Stalkers. You should end up getting all the Stalkers, but in the meantime, we do have the Oracle dealing some reasonable damage.
The Queen is going to take out the Oracle here, but not before killing a couple of drones there. And now the sentry setup, I think that could have been a lot worse for MC.
Yeah, it definitely could have, Apollo. If he had run straight in with the speedlings, there definitely could have been a lot of damage done at that main mineral line. So, kind of weird to see, but look at that. He's killed off quite a few drones at 9 and 2 queens at the loss of just an Oracle and, well, I guess, you know, those few gateway units as well.
Yeah, the Oracle and Overlord really surprised him there. Look at Jaedong. He never actually had Overlords in between the 2 bases, the 2 main bases. He never saw it coming. Never saw it coming, and that did hurt him a little bit. In the meanwhile, he did manage to kill a cannon building and a pylon on the 3rd base, but not really enough.
Well, Apollo, what do you think about this follow-up? He's adding 5 gateways, getting +1, and making a lot of Void Rays. This is pretty MCS.
This is MCS, and he's about to really slow Jaedong down even further than he has done by killing 9 drones and 2 queens. For the first time, the Void Rays are here, but there are no Spore Crawlers. There are only Hydralisks now on the way.
Yeah, this game really looking a lot different from how we saw Jaedong play before. You know, he's had very little anti-air here, and in fact, he's going to have to run away from these couple of queens. And there's more Hydras coming out too, so it's a good runaway, but he's dealing significant damage.
And remember that MC's the aggressive player here. Without the robotics facility, now only just coming down, there's a lot of gateways behind this, there's a lot of sentries there too. More so than you need to defend the 3rd base.
You know, do you think he's going to go for an attack? He does have a lot of gateways.
I think so, Autosis. With +1 attack near completion, 3 or 4 Void Rays with his army as well.
Yeah.
Sure, he'll maybe expand behind this. I definitely feel he will, but he has what it takes to push out here and do a bit of damage, potentially.
Yeah, and you know, this is a very interesting strategy that MC is going for, mixing in so many Void Rays. But when you have that many sentries, Sentry Void Ray is actually a reasonable composition against a lot of Hydras.
Well, a counterattack launch there by Jaedong couldn't quite get into the natural, but we aren't seeing MC move out at all. He's staying on his 3rd base, protecting it. Is he waiting for cannons to complete? Surely he has to go with the gateway count and the Void Ray count he has. Well,
you know what? I love the move that we're seeing right here, Apollo. Coming over with this many Void Rays and a Mothership Core with a recall and a Time Warp. He can get in here, and if the Hydras aren't right there, he would do a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately for MC, the Hydras are right there, so he's going to have to turn around, but the threat of moves like this is going to keep Jaedong very defensive.
Oh, almost picked off the Mothership Core there. Did quite just get away back to the natural.
Yeah.
But MC, I mean, what do you think of his build here with adding on a lot of gateways, a lot of ground units, but only really delaying his tech until now? Robotics Bay only just now finishing up, which is very late compared to, let's say, Rain, who went very, very early with the robotics facility.
It's a very weird build, but MC can make anything work at all. He could probably go carriers and make that work. But right now, Jaedong actually going for a Nidus Worm. Oh my god, he's going to be popping out a lot of Queens and Hydras here. Those Void Rays are going to be almost worthless, but there are a lot of sentries.
To deal with it there before this begins? Does MC have what it takes?
I think he does. If he hits his force fields right, throws down a Nexus Cannon, which he does have enough energy for, he should be able to hold this off with 7 gateways behind.
All right, well, here come the Hydralisks and the Zerglings. There's no cannons on the left-hand side. The Mothership Core, I'm not sure where it is. I think it's still there, but it doesn't. Oh, it does have one photon overcharge.
I don't know how much I like those force fields. He's way out in a huge arced area, and that is a lot of Hydras with a lot of surface area. He does have to pull back for now, but not as many force fields left over.
Look at the Queens. A couple of Queens coming in there, transfusing where they can. The Nexus now being targeted down here. Jaedong, he's targeting down the Nexus. As MC has to get in there.
Well, that Colossus is starting to deal a lot of damage. In fact, the unit's being taken out so quickly for Zerg here. It looks like MC may be able to just hold, but those Queens tanking beautifully.
Tanking beautifully. MC continuing to hold on for now. Jaedong's forces are running thin. Extra units are coming in here, but the boss toss with the Colossus at the back here still holding on with a couple of new reinforcements, which should be coming in momentarily as the Wharf Gates now turn on again. He's holding.
He is, in fact, holding, but let's not forget, he lost basically all of his Void Rays except for one, and then most of his sentries, so the attack still did at least some damage. It's not like Jaedong's dead now that he did that attack and it didn't kill the Nexus.
Yeah, he doesn't have a super high drone count. He's now just adding on a couple of extra ones. He was down at 66, which isn't really the optimal drone count for the income he could have now spread across these bases.
Yeah.
But one big point is the Spire is on its way again.
Do you think it's going to be mutas? Yes. I have to say I think that this is going to be mutalisks.
I agree. With Void Rays and Colossus together with minimal ground units overall to deal with air, and Void Rays are not the best against Mulus either. With the amount of gas he's got backed up here, this makes for a very powerful switch.
He's keeping MC pretty busy, and he doesn't really have the best anti-Muta army. He's sure he has +2 attack on the way, and he has Blink done already. But on a map like this, the mobility of the Mutalisk is going to force MC to either Super Turtle or go into a base trade.
Jaedong trying counterattacks every other minute here, trying to get into that natural with those Zerglings, not being allowed to. And MC now making a Warp Prism, Autosis. Well, he's getting his +2 attack on the way. He may feel this is his time.
Yes, I think you're completely right there, Apollo. He is going to be moving out, and 18 Mutas on the way. Now, does Jaedong take this group of units and try to engage the army, or does he just go ahead into a base trade?
I think he goes base trade here. If he keeps on fighting against these units with the reinforcements that will continue to come through, and they will continue to come, and at the same time MC dealing damage to the economy of Jaedong, I think this is a counterattack.
He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to rally out any Mutalisks into that army. Okay, very good job pulling them back. You know, if he can get enough Mutas out, he could get to that critical mass that wins base trades. In the meantime, the unit's running around. You're right, Apollo. It looks like we're going to see these two players just go all out and try to kill each other.
All right, well, this is going to be an interesting turn to the end. Oh, the recall happens from MC. He goes back to defend. What Jaedong was moving out to do. He goes right to his main base.
Well, that tells us that MC is probably just going to make a lot more units, maybe max out completely, and then move out again.
Yeah, he's going to play this very defensive from here. With Blink done too, he's going to have the mobility against these Mutalisks.
Yeah, and in fact, he's getting a Templar Archive, so he wants to get the type of army that you just literally can't kill with Mutalisks. Maybe some Archons, some Psystorm, a bunch of Blink Stalkers, good upgrades.
Nice reactions there from MC. Blinks forward, gets one Mutalisk down, and already defending his third base. I think oh, that's actually a nice pick off there. One Colossus.
Very nice.
The decision to pull back and recall instead of continue forward from MC could have been game-winning here. If he sets himself up to deal with Zerglings and Mutalisks.
Yeah, he's getting the right type of units. He's even getting that +3 attack, which is going to be crucial in the battles to come. And Jaedong is continuing on Mutas, so he's going to have to get something done with these Mutalisks.
And so far, nothing from Jaedong. He spent a lot of money on this. They're not going to be that good in the overall fight if MC's allowed to build up an army to deal with it. So he needs to either slow his opponent down, deal some damage somewhere, but nothing so far. And with +3 attacks, Storm, cannons being thrown down everywhere. And that really tells us that MC is going to move out soon.
Yes.
Absolutely going to move out soon.
Psystorm and Mass Cannon should be able to hold on against these Mutas, for now at least. But let's not forget, Jaedong's making a lot of Spine Crawlers back at home, and he's taking basically the whole map for more gas. He's going to have a lot of Mutas, Apollo. A lot of Mutas.
Well, he's at 34.
That's a lot.
Already at 34, and a second spy coming in, +1 attack about to be done. If MC builds an army good enough, what he thinks is good enough, in reality, as we can see both sides of the armies building up, is it good enough?
Well,
with +3 attack, Storm, the amount of Stalkers he has?
Well, you know what it can do is make the Mutas never engage if he has enough Psystorms with his Stalkers and he's quick enough. What it can't do is actually kill the Mutas if he flies away, though.
I really like this from Jaedong coming in. They're picking up a lot of Stalkers here. Yep. But his Muta count's actually gone down. I mean, it's 24 now. Is it 34 last time I checked in? That's 10 that have disappeared now, so maybe that wasn't the best of trades. But with the amount of income that Jaedong has across all these bases, maybe it's efficient enough for him to make these trades across MC, who's only on 3 bases, remember?
You know, he does have about twice the gas income. He's going to have even more as he's expanded over onto MC's side of the map. But MC has decided it is time to move out, and that is a scary army.
All right, there is nothing on that mothership called a recall. This is it. This is how this game seems to look like it's going to shape up to end. The Warp Prism escapes as well there against the Hydralist. MC's +3 is now done. 3 Mutalisks go down, Autosis.
This is pretty scary right now. A little bit wasteful with some of these Mutas. And MC moving forward now. He has a lot of Psystorms in this army. That army is going to be so hard to kill. He's really counting these Spine Crawlers to slow him down. In the meantime, we do have Jaedong going with a counterattack back into the third base.
Oh, that's a lot of cannons. He's targeting down the pylons. One set get turned off. The second set get turned off. And the Mutalisk doing damage along Zerglings there. Picking up a couple of Stalkers. One Storm goes down.
And the Muta's actually pummeling through this third base area, but they have eaten some storms. They have taken some additional damage. And is he actually killing MC's base quick enough?
Well, I'm not sure, because right now Jaedong seems to be like, all right, I'm going to kill the third. I'm going to really slow down his income, hurt him. And then I'm going to come back with everything together, maybe. With 10 more Mutalisks in the production, there's 33 out. 43 Mules he'd go up to now, with protection of spines across his external bases as well.
He's making his spines all over the place. He's just trying to slow down these attacks. And look at that, with the Archons in there, with more and more cannons, it's hard for these mutas to really break through.
All right, well, Jaedong's going to poke in here. Does he want to continue through? There's a high tempo without Storm there. It's not got Storm. It will get picked off. So does this pylon. Another pylon bringing down two of the cannons. Another one goes down too.
And he's got MC supply blocked as well. Let's not forget that, Apollo. A lot of spine crawlers still going up. This is really close right now. It's hard to say who's going to end up winning this.
I don't know. The Templar Archives is down. Gateways being turned off. Pylons. Eventually, Jaedong will have to go back to meet this army, but when does he choose to do so? MC still has a higher army supply, 111 to 95.
He certainly does, but he cannot refill it either. It's going to be easier for Jaedong to make a few more units, and he is continuing to do so. Now it looks like the mutas are going back.
All right, this is it, man. This is when it seems like he's going to go back here. The Stargate goes down, an extra gateway or two. A recall.
Oh!
Is this a right? Is this?
No, this is wrong. This is where, if the mutas actually came back,
yeah, they see this. And now Jaedong's like, all right, he's cut off his army in half. It may be in trouble here.
He can definitely kill all those stalkers with what he has. He has 44 mutas with at least +2 attack. He actually has +2 attack, 1 armor. He definitely can fly over here and kill off all those stalkers.
Oh my God, Jaedong, the flying V once again is about to go in there. The stalkers aren't equipped. MC's trying to get across the other side of the map. He's trying to get to his other anti-air. Oh, Jaedong dealing so much damage to these stalkers.
And realistically, this was the game ender. I think Apollo is doing the magic box, spreading out these mutas. Huge amount of side storms all over the place, but there are just too many mutalisks.
Jaedong, GG.
Wow. Really fantastic play by both sides, Apollo.
Jaedong taking 3 maps in a row at this tournament now. 2 against Rain, closing up that series. And now is leading 1-0 against SKMC. But we have to go back to that decision.
You can't.
Recall, he was nervous. He thought his Nexus on the natural was going to be exploited.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it probably would have with 2 Archons, a bunch of cannons. Yeah, that's good, but so are 2-1 Mutalisks, and so are 44 of those. So I understand what he was doing, but you can't recall half of it, because the mutas want you to split up your army so that they can actually win straight up. He's waiting for exactly that moment to win the game.
Well, Jaedong seems to have found something he's comfortable with in this matchup, Autosis, and that seems to be the Mutalisks. When do they come in? It's very difficult for a Protoss player to know when the switch is ever going to happen. It can happen immediately after the first 8 to 12 Hydralisks. It can happen right at the end of the game as well. That was a difficult game for MC to play in.
You know, this is exactly what I think all of us StarCraft 1 fans always thought we'd see from Jaedong. Games like this, where there's so many Mutalisks, you can't even count them. He's flying through Psy Storms, killing everything off. Just fantastic play by Jaedong. You can see here exactly how much it means to him to be beating the best Protosses in the world today.
I remember this is a big tournament here, $150,000 on the line. This is what these players are playing for. Currently, they've already banked $5,000 just for being at this level in the round of 16. But it starts to increase. If Jaedong wins just 1 more map, he would bank himself an extra $2,500, $10,000 I think it is if he gets into the, $7,500 top 8, then again going up to 10 if he gets top 4. The money is massive. The points are even more important for a lot of these players.
Well, I tell you what, the points are more, in my opinion, what Jaedong's after, but most of all, just the victory itself.
That's right, so many second places, but this could be where Jaedong shines because he's doing well so far. But can the boss toss pull it back? We'll find out as we load into map number 2 here. This is going to be Whirlwinds.
Up here in the top left, he's down a game. He needs your support. Show him some. It's SKMC.
And he goes up against the man in the bottom right side of this map, playing as the blue Zerg. It is E.G. Jaedong.
How amazing is this already? The fact that Jaedong is undefeated in this group. He may end up just winning this game, and that's it. And then suddenly we're like, okay, Jaedong
is in the round of 8.
First place, round of 8. Amazing.
A fantastic start here. I hope a lot of you are enjoying it at home and in the audience as well. The WCS Season 2 finals, I don't think it could have started any better. We're having a lot of fun here, Autosis, or at least I am. I'm sure you are as well.
No fun at all, Apollo.
No fun at all. But I'm having a lot of fun. We all are. And
yes,
these games have been amazing.
Our lives have led us to this point, Apollo, where we get to watch the Season 2 finals of StarCraft 2, the greatest game in the world. Does anyone else here agree with me? Is this the greatest game in the whole world?
This is up there, Autosis.
All right, especially this middle piece of audience. You guys are the best.
All right, talk to me though. So, we talked a little bit about how aggressive MC can be. He has double probes out on the map already. One tendency that I have seen from Jaedong, when he wins map number 1 and is against a Protoss on this map, he does like early pulls.
Yeah.
Which may be the reason for double probes here.
It could be. This second probe, this is funny. You know what he's doing? Oh my God, MC, you're so cute. He's waiting for the third hatch and he's gonna cannon it. I think this is what we're gonna see, Apollo.
I think, I'm
really sneaky.
Absolutely agree with you here. There's no other reason for that probe to be there. What job is that probe doing that the other one isn't? And that's gonna be the cannon rush.
I think so. And
I mean, he sees that probe now, and as long as MC continues to show that probe in vision around the natural,
poke the hatch and make the Zerglings chase that probe instead of looking for another.
And that's exactly what's going on here. MC's hitting that probe. The Zerglings are chasing the wrong one.
Oh my God, this could be insane. MC looks like he's getting ready. He might be going ahead and making a punt. There it is, Apollo.
Sneaky tactics coming out from the boss toss.
Now, guys, if this doesn't work, if this cannon rush gets shut down and Jaedong keeps the hatchery, MC is so far behind that he may not win. But if this cannon rush gets a hatchery, Jaedong becomes quite far behind, and MC has a great spot.
This Overlord is close, but I don't think it's going to touch it. I don't think the vision will ever go behind the mineral line here. Jaedong has no idea. He's been completely duped.
Oh my God, that's so close.
He
sees it.
But does he have enough time to react? No, surely not.
2 cannons? No, he doesn't, Apollo.
The Zerglings are coming back as they just see it, but it's too late. The cannons are on the way.
Yeah, he's going to have to cancel the hatchery. If he tries to keep that, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's already getting up to take a new one, man. He already realizes the cancel is down, and MC pulls off some sneaky little play, canceling a second cannon upon realizing that this is a job well done.
It certainly is, and now another thing you have to mention is he has a cannon and a pylon over there. If he wants to, he can follow this up with some Zealot pressure. Now, will he? It's a little bit harder to say, but that pylon isn't going anywhere for a little bit.
So talk to me about how this has really impacted Jaedong's game. Why is it so important that MC's done that?
Well, Jaedong needs those 3 hatcheries up to have the production, to have the economy, to stop any 2-base pushes that MC does. Now, we do have to say that MC's pushes will be a bit slower because he did do the cannon rush, but overall, not as much slower as Jaedong's production and economy will be.
And with MC now getting +1 attack, chrono boosting into the Cybernetics core, there's a pylon that just finished inside the main base. I have a strong feeling that we very well may see some gateways come down in that very location. But he may try to continue pressure through.
Jaedong is a smart cookie himself, Apollo. He's making a Roach Warren this early on. I think he realizes that pylon is an issue, and MC is a player that will every time push every advantage he has, one of which being that pylon across the map.
Well, let's see, because MC so far has slowed Jaedong down. He's made no mistakes of his own. His build order's crisp, with 6 additional gateways coming in. +1 attack on its way. I pylon with a cannon supporting it already, but you said it smartly. The Roach Swarm is already down. Burrow is being researched to help out with units and drones and queens and everything. Jaedong is predicting this follow-up, but doesn't have enough time to deal with it.
I don't know. It's a good question. If he, the thing is, there's other pylons going up, so even if he deals with the one with the cannons, he might be caught off guard somewhere else. So This situation, it's so interesting. Jaedong is so smart to be grabbing this burrow and getting that speed and getting Roaches out right now.
Well, let's see if Jaedong can make the defense. He's very low on drones. He's at 49 drones. A great position to be in because he's not over-droned here. He's identified what's going on. He saw +1 being made. He saw the lack of gas on the natural. He knows it's coming, but can Jaedong stop it? MC's coming to try to tie this series up.
I don't know if he's going to be able to, though. Yeah, it's huge in Jaedong's favor. He has a lot of Roaches, and MC's going to be a bit heartbroken to see that many Roaches already at your third base.
And a counterattack has been launched as well by Jaedong. He's escaped with Zerglings. MC doesn't know.
Oh, Jaedong running by the wall in speed, almost done. This is going to make MC warp in more units at home. Oh, no.
Autosis. There is only one pylon.
I believe they call this the in-control pylon, and it's going to be taken down.
Oh, it goes down, and the gateways are powered off. All 6 gateways are offline. He's only got one supporting this.
This is almost already a win for Jaedong. He has read MC like a book. He has countered every single move MC has made, and MC's push has failed.
It has not worked at all. And Jaedong now, with more overlords on the way, more units on the way, he borrows his Zerglings. They can come back out and play afterwards. But look at the forces. Meanwhile, that Jaedong's made himself.
Well,
74 to 38.
It's ridiculous. 23 Roaches, 44 Zerglings. His lair is completed. He's starting to get his evolution chambers. He's making 15 drones in a Hydralisk den. Meanwhile, what does MC really have going for him? His first tech building is about to finish, and we're 10 minutes and 30 seconds into this game.
This is a disastrous game here for MC. There's no other way to put it. His pylon's down on the right, his pylon's down on the left. Jaedong has droned up immediately to 62 here. He can actually afford to drone further. He doesn't need to because he doesn't want to overextend himself with his economy, but oh boy, is he in such a wonderful position.
What does MC even do here? Does he just go into a 2-base point call in? Is that the choice? Because I'm looking at it, and Jaedong is looking pretty solid. I don't know how you're supposed to kill him from here.
Whatever MC chooses, attack or take another base, Jaedong will max out in the next few minutes. He will go to 200 supply, he will add in these Hydralisks, and no matter what, if it's defense or it's him being aggressive, either way, Jaedong's going to make this very, very difficult for MC to play with.
And look at that. He's burrowing the Zerglings right before the expansions come out, going to slow him down a bit, going to let him know exactly when MC's trying to take these bases. And if Jaedong wants to, he can actually just go and attack into these. Now that's where it gets a little bit more risky, but there's a good chance that his army will win.
I mean, if we look at Jaedong's creep spread right now, Autosis, it's spreading in the direction of MC, specifically his third base. Both creatures will go in a directional angle here to get over there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
He's going to go attacking very soon here.
It does look like it. Some scouting going down, a hallucinated Phoenix there from MC. MC also putting up a little bit of static defense here, throwing down the cannon while he's trying to take this third Nexus. You know, so much of this defense is going to come down to the force fields for now, but when you're having to focus on things like force fields and making some immortals, getting blink, in the meantime, Jaedong getting his fourth base and going into the infestation pit gives him all sorts of options that'll do well against what MC's up to.
Yeah, he's really just taking it slow. He realizes he's in a very comfortable position to take this series 2-0 and go into the round of 8, to the top 8 already, when a lot of people didn't even predict him to advance from this group.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. We'll see. I love the fact that he's going straight Hive right now, because it's obvious that MC is going to have to get some sort of splash damage. And you know what? I think that the Vipers are going to deal very well with that. The Colossi that he's going to be making are so late, and they're going to be so few in number, it's not going to be no issue for Jaedong to get rid of them.
Let's talk about the decision from Jaedong not to attack into this, because he definitely could have if he'd wanted to. Do you think that he's allowing MC too much time here?
I say no. I say because of the speed of his Hive and the fact that MC is known for holding on no matter what. You can't kill MC. The guy's got snake blood. He just won't go down. So I think this is smart. He's going to have a full army ready for when those Vipers are popping out.
Vipers will be looking to abduct the Colossus once they enter the field, but more importantly, with the army composition that we see from MC, we'll see a lot of blinding clouds come down for sure to really prevent a lot of the units being able to attack here. Nice with the robotics facility there.
Yeah, slowing anything down at all is going to be pretty useful here since he's already so far ahead. In the meantime, bam, there we go. Maxed out. 11 roaches on the way, as well as 4 Vipers with 0 Colossi out so far. The 4 Vipers will be able to get the first Colossi and all of the Immortals all at once. That leaves MC with gateway units.
It leaves him with gateway units, and gateway units aren't going to do good against what we see, but more importantly, Jaedong's setting himself up for another move, which is the Ultralisk Cavern.
Beautiful.
Gateway units, how do they do against Ultralisk Artosis?
Well, they do pretty poorly against Ultralisk Apollo. If you get every Immortal in the Colossus, the Ultralisk will eat your Zealots, your Sentries, and your Stalkers.
So Jaedong's setting himself up in a position where even if this doesn't work and somehow MC holds on, then the next wave is really the design killer.
Yes.
If it doesn't kill him with the first attempt.
Yeah, it's just beautiful planning by Jaedong overall. He's done everything right here. Now, MC's, oh no, again, Jaedong running by. A beautifully timed out counterattack, splitting up his Zerglings even. This is just, this is so painful for MC.
Considering that this is Jaedong's weakest matchup statistically, he's proving that he's looking good at this tournament because we will have the first fight here.
Look at that. He just pulled all of the Immortals out. Now the 1 Colossi here. He pulls that back as well. Can he snipe it? He does snipe it. And now we have nothing but gateway units left.
Nothing but gateway units against a very strong army with decent upgrades here. But of course, the next part of it is the strongest. So Jaedong's, he's fine. He's happy. Trading off here. Blinding Clouds come in.
So well done. And yes, as you said, Apollo, he can trade off this entire army. Just save the Vipers, go home, remake Hydra Ling Ultra, and I can't imagine what MC could do to beat that composition with these units.
I mean, Jaedong's knocking, so hard, another of those. He was knocking MC down so hard just with the first wave. MC blinks back and will pick up a couple of stragglers here. But remember that Jaedong, with the units and the income he has the ability to switch around his tech to deal with what MC can't deal with.
Yes.
And that is now those Zerglings just going rapid. And then the Ultralisks.
You know, 90 Zerglings against Blink Stalkers is a pretty good matchup for the Zerglings. And now with the 7 Ultras coming as well, Force Fields won't work, Colossi won't really work, these Zealots won't really work. Jaedong has played this game so fantastically.
MC's been on the back foot all game long. He has no idea how many expansions there are, what tech switches coming in. He's just playing very generic to what he's seeing in this game. He's got no information at all. None at all.
That is right, and look at this. The Zerglings once again up there, dealing some extra damage. The next attack, you know, he might not even attack. He might wait for MC to walk out.
Look at this, look at this.
Jaedong.
Making sure the Zerglings don't die to pick off the robotics bay, maximizing efficiency to the max here. And look at this. Look at this.
That's a pretty good army right there.
That's a very strong army, and unfortunately MC just does not have what it takes to deal with this.
Now the Ultras are going to be entirely too strong. Now, will Jaedong actually attack up this tiny ramp, I guess is the real question.
I think so, man. I think he's very confident in the position he's in.
Ooh.
Good feedbacks.
Yeah, nice feedback so far.
And Ultralisk, man, does so much damage.
But this is a good building wall by MC. Is Jaedong overextending a little bit here?
Well, the Ultralisk there kind of in this wall, the Archon been put in there too, and MC holds on for now, but there's a lot of money coming on. That's pretty good from MC considering the circumstances there.
Certainly. He did a great job there pulling back, using his feedbacks and whatnot. In fact, chasing down some Ultras. He needs to turn around and not do this on creep, though, I tell you that much.
Is Jaedong in at all any trouble, though? Let's say, because that was probably, he was, as mentioned, going to go up attack up there anyway because he was confident in himself. Has he risked this game? Has he risked the position he's in?
Maybe a tiny bit, but when I go ahead and look at what he actually has right now, he has about 60 larvae, he has 5 bases with 2 more on the way, an okay-ish creep spread, great upgrades. I still don't think he's going to lose this one to MC. He could probably do an attack like that again and still pull it out.
All right, well, MC moving out here. He does have a recall if he gets caught, but he's kind of getting a bit more active now as he killed off a few Jaedong units there for free. He's going to look around, maybe pick off a base if he can. He's definitely going to try to, but I feel this is only a recall at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's going to have to recall out of here. Otherwise, if he walks out, he'll get surrounded. But at least he picks off a base. A very important thing indeed.
But he's still only on 3 bases.
Yes.
His main is actually run out, and his natural is soon to be as well. Jaedong, is he going to attack up there? I don't think there's any need to now since he's got nothing to defend up there.
You know, and Jaedong is getting double flyer upgrades, so he's ready for another transition. Now this is a little bit messy. You don't want to attack up into such a small position with ultras. Jaedong's getting a little bit too risky for my likes, but his tech switch potential is fantastic. He knows he's forcing Immortals, and against that, he wants to go into Mutalisks.
Yeah, so even though Jaedong seems to be having a bit of a harder time picking off his opponent, just look at the amount of money that's in the bank here for Jaedong as he starts to spend it over to Hydralisk and Vipers, but that's only going to continue to increase. The Mutalisk switch is imminent in this game eventually.
Yes, it's going to come unless MC dies before then.
But you said it so good before, MC just doesn't die.
No, you literally just cannot kill him. You can't get him out of the game because you have to kill all his buildings to get him out. And he won't let you because his micro is so good, his defensive play is so good. He has star sense like no other. And in fact, he realizes, I think, that this is a moment where he needs to be pushing forward a bit. You know at a point like this as Protoss that Zerg is banking a lot, and they're going to do a tech switch, so you're going to have to move in and start killing things right away.
Jaedong does have a Borrowed Zergling on the 4th base of MC as well here, just to slow him down a little bit further. Cannons will have to come down before the Nexus. Well, you do bring up a good point. We do see the Dark Shrine on the way. There's no protection on any of these bases, Artosis. No spores, no spines.
And you know what? MC has a good enough bank that he might be able to warp in, 6-7 Dark Templars and kill 3 bases at once. It's a possibility.
Wow, Jaedong's going to be very careful here, otherwise this will start to fall away from his grasp.
And you know what? That army has no detection with it either.
Look, he sees the Dark Shrine now with the Overseer, and immediately spores and spines begin. They have to.
Yeah, he needs to get his detection up. He needs some more Overseers around the map. Does not want DTs to walk in and ruin his day when he's played such a brilliant game. All he needs to do is hold on to these bases for a little bit and do his Mutalisks tech switch.
Well, here comes another attack from Jaedong here as he does fight into a decent army there. He's not so much clumped up behind cannons and pylons here, so Jaedong does get a lot of damage done, but I think this is the switch he's looking for.
Yeah, he realizes switching now for sure.
Yeah, the DTs, they do a lot of damage.
Very quickly.
But here's the switch, the 35 Mutalisk switch. Is it enough?
Well, 35, yeah, I would say so, Apollo. And in fact, he's taken out some other bases. MC is with a huge amount of Zealots over to the side, but the anti-air that he has right now is simply 9 Stalkers, a High Templar, and 2 Archons. That's not enough for 35 2-2 Mutas.
Wow, a big switch here from Jaedong, even though it looked like he just threw away that army. Well, he did just throw away that army. It was that simple. He just threw it away. But here, Archon smart from the DTs.
This is good. This is really good. +3 attack Archons, 5 of them. The Mutas can't get near that. They just simply cannot.
All right, and the Zerglings are all clumped up there, then the Mutalisks go in. Archons are going to deal a lot of damage here, but Jaedong may have too much.
That is a lot of Mutas and a lot of Zerglings, and it looks like the Mutas may end up being able to take this battle, Apollo.
Yes, they do. The Mutalisks not clumped up. The Archons not doing as much damage as MC hoped, but MC is bringing down bases. He's brought down this one. He's brought down another one on the right-hand side, and he is mining from bases back at home.
MC is fighting back so strongly. It's amazing, but this is a lot of Mutalisks to deal with, and the big expensive Death Ball army of MC has been taken out. It's going to be very hard to remake an army that good.
All right, MC, if he wants to try to keep in this game, he needs to go now. Jaedong knows this is his time to win the game with these Mutalisks. He's still got a mining base in the bottom left of this map, which MC has no idea about. That is providing extra income for more Mutalisks here. But does MC have the time? He's got the better income. But does he have the time to build an anti-air army?
I don't know that he does, Apollo. He's making as many Stalkers, High Templars, and Archons as he can, as well as some cannons. But is that going to be enough? This many Mutas can just fly around those units. They aren't mobile enough on a map like Whirlwind.
2 Storms available. 1 comes down, second one comes down. Great Storms there.
That is a lot of damage on those Mutas, and he does get out. So okay so far by Jaedong, but he has to be careful, because if he loses that clump of Mutas, the game is over.
Very, much closer game than we expected this game to turn out to. And well, this undefended base, 1 single DT is going to ruin Jaedong's time here, and that's the only base he has mining at this point.
I get scared every time I see a storm like that, Apollo. It could kill so much. Jaedong is being careful, though, not losing too many Mutas yet. Nice blink up.
Losing a little bit there.
Still fighting a little bit as well.
28 Mutalisks. The DT in the bottom left, though, needs to get to work here every second that this DT gives Jaedong. every second that MC gives Jaedong there.
That's an extra muta almost. You know, it is important that he takes out that base, and the DT is going to go to work down there. So this is a painful spot for Jaedong. MC may have come back here somehow, but those mutas are healing up. He's coming back in for another swipe and killing quite a few probes.
Yeah, killing quite a few probes here, and Jaedong does re-expand to a different location. But still, MC mining off 2 bases. The time that he needs is being given. He's catching up in supply here. MC could make a serious big comeback in this game.
That he could, and that he is really Apollo. He was so far behind for so long, but Jaedong just a bit too wasteful with those ultralisk-based armies. I wonder, what is Jaedong going to do from here, Apollo? I mean, this is hard to even... He's long-distance mining at what used to be his 3rd base.
And a couple of DTs there with nothing to protect it either could hurt Jaedong a little bit more here. As well, these ones have been spotted, a couple of Zealots and the DT. Jaedong did manage to save his base in the bottom left.
Yeah, that's actually very important. He needs that base up in mining. Mutas are very expensive to keep producing, and in fact, he's going for a couple of Vipers right now. Do you think that that's going to be for some blinding cloud with the mutas?
Yes, I do think so.
Sick. Well, we'll see if that works out for him. Of course, he can throw that out on the cannons, he can throw it down on the stalkers, or underneath the mutas where the stalkers are going to want to blink. It's a smart move to throw those in. They're definitely going to be worth more than the amount of gas it costs for mutas.
I really think that Jaedong needs to start, as well, keep on defending as well as he is, but start trading off some hit points of his Mulus, which will regenerate over time, to trade off for units and energy on High Templar that obviously aren't going to regenerate. Of course, the energy will on the High Templars, but if he can pick off a couple of Stalkers and Archon or something.
Well, we'll see what he can do with that. You know, there is that +3 attack, which I get so scared of when I see mutas go in, but 2-2 on the mutas is still a huge heal. And here we go, the mutas flying in, and once again to the 4th base of MC, trying to take out his gas. Does take one out. They eat a little bit of a storm, but not too bad.
Ooh, another one.
A little bit better that time by MC.
But didn't really lose any Mutalisk there. I don't think he lost a single one, so he did trade off a bit of his health there.
And that is the type of move he needs to do. Keep MC at home, trade off, kill some economy, kill some units here and there.
But it does make him vulnerable to counterattacks if MC was to bounce out like this, because the Mulus is still regenerating. They're not ready to fight properly yet.
Yeah, in fact, I would say space is dead because those mutas do have so much damage on them. He can't quite engage yet, but I don't think MC can quite go down to kill the next base.
Well, Jaedong with the Mulus now coming from behind. He may decide to come and flank this army. He's got a lot of Zerglings being made. He's got the Vipers ready, Artosis.
The blinding clouds could be huge here.
Is this Jaedong's time? It seems like it. Jaedong's going to go for it right over the storms, right over the Archons.
Oh my god, huge side storms going down. The Mutalisk being absolutely shredded, but the blinding clouds actually helping out a lot here. And it looks like these two armies are just about going to equal out, but that works out better for MC.
Wow, that was such a big trade-off by both players there. A massive trade-off. Jaedong only down to 9 Mulus. MC, I think that was one of the better fights he could have taken if that played over many times.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job there, Paul. And in the meantime, Zealots down here at Jaedong's other base. Jaedong's starting to get into a lot of trouble. He's replacing most of his army with Zerglings. Not sure how well it's going to do against a lot of Zealots and Archons.
Oh, I think MC may be able to do this, man. The supplies are so close now. The Archons with +3 attack are going to go so much damage here. And storms come in.
Oh, beautiful size storms. Just absolutely everywhere right now. The mutas all going to be just about cleaned up. And oh my god, 2 red mutas remain as they kill off all the anti-air. But very soon these Archons will hatch out and clean up the rest of this.
Okay, the 2 Archons do pop out, and the supplies in favor of MC for the first time here. MC, what are we seeing here? From the start of this game, from the cannon rush that set him up nicely to falling behind, and it looked like Jaedong was just going to win this game and go 2-0. SKMC with fighting spirit.
What a comeback, Apollo. MC, I think he's the only person in the world that could look at this game and figure out how to win it from where he was at. And it looks like he's going to be able to do that. More Archons on the way, a lot of Zerglings coming in. Can he get the required surface area? Can he remove all these units and fight on?
All right, these Zerglings are 3-3. The Archons have +3 attack, but they drop fast here. And Jaedong back at 75 supply to 56. Army supply in favor of Jaedong, but it is 54 Zerglings.
Yes.
Will they carry him to victory? Can they?
Well, I think Zerglings alone probably can't, because MC can just sit back and turtle more and more and more and get that better army that can cost efficiently deal with Zerglings. So we have to see something else. Yeah,
900 gas.
I would love
Back to
see,
Mutas.
either throw in some Mutas, maybe even throw out a couple Infestors. At this point against this many Zealots, a few fungal growths would be pretty nice.
Well, Jaedong's the man that can make these decisions. What is he going to spend his gas on? He's re-expanding to the right-hand side here to try to keep his mineral income decent. Seems like it's a Viper. It's the first unit that he makes here.
Okay.
A Blinding Cloud could work wonders.
Yeah, a Blinding Cloud can be very nice. Of course, there are a lot of Zealots here as well.
An Ultralisk.
An Ultra, okay, that's not too bad. You know what might be nice is a few Banelings, to be honest. I know it's a weird situation for it, but there's a lot of Zealots in this MC army that are going to be pretty efficient against the Zerglings with Archons backing them up.
I mean, we can sit here with our shoes off and our sleeves rolled up, Autosis, and think about all these different options for them to choose from, but they're the players in the booth, and they are playing fast. There's so many decisions coming through their minds on what to do, how to do it.
This type of game is the hardest type of game you can play in StarCraft. It's not exactly a base trade, but it's solo economy. It's a game unlike any these two have ever played. They have to think on their feet. It's hard to say where the other person's at. It is certainly difficult.
Well, there's going to be 4 Ultralisks, with 3 about to join the one that's already out here. There's Blinding Cloud available. MC's got to be careful here. He doesn't have his Mothership Core.
Well, you know...
He doesn't have one at all, actually.
This could go pretty well for him. He does have these Spinecrawlers as well as some Queens to help with transfusions. And in fact, here comes the Viper in, throwing down that Blinding Cloud. The Archon's having a hard time actually hitting anything, but the Zealot's starting to really clean through those Zerglings.
Oh, the Ultras doing a lot of damage here. They're fully upgraded. Now the first one's taking a bit of damage. It is going to... Oh, Transfuse comes in on that. Another one, and Jaedong keeps it alive.
Oh my god, somehow, someway, those 2 Mutas still adding to the fight as well. And this last Archon looks like it will be taken down. Jaedong with another beautiful hold.
What? This game is absolutely unbelievable. MC's not mining from that left base anymore. He's only mining from the north one, and it doesn't have that many minerals left on it.
Oh my god, look at this. Jaedong, after losing this hatchery, not really mining. MC very soon, not really mining. Jaedong does have the better army, but MC has more minerals to get. So this is, it is impossible to say who's going to win from here.
It's now 6 Ultralisks. 5 Ultralisks.
Yes.
As one gets stuck there, unfortunately. That's a bit of a mistake there from Jaedong, but 5 Ultralisks. 2 Mulas still being useful in this game. You said it right. They're coming in, they're still helping. Yeah. They've still got +2 attack. Every little bit of damage helps.
That is so true when you're using even your last 2 Mutalis as a big part of your army.
But Jaedong is not mining at this moment, though.
No,
that's the big problem.
He's only got 15, 25 minerals. His income is almost nilch. And, well, he is taking another base right now, but he cannot lose that base. If MC can get out and kill it one time, I think that's enough to just give him the victory.
Well, MC is going over to Ultralisk. I wish he could. We're going over to Immortals here.
Well, you know what? That's a good choice, because the Ultras really are the backbone of this army. And if he targets down, even with transfuses, Immortals end up beating Ultralisk pretty quickly.
Especially if he has a good chunk of units in the front of these Immortals. Zealots, Archons, great.
Keep those Zerglings away, and they do a fantastic job because they just do not die very quickly.
So if we weigh up the armies now, Autosis, hold that thought, because Jaedong may go in here. He's got to be careful to attack up these ramps. There's a lot of cannons around and so on.
You know, it's such a... he does not want to attack up into there, but... Okay, those are some nice yoinks if he can actually take those out, but this is just an Immortal-based army. MC with some beautiful micro, pulling those Immortals back, targeting them down.
The 2 Immortals doing so much damage here! So much damage, and immediately Jaedong just targets them down. The 2 Ultras do survive. One is gonna fall.
Oh my god, and
how close is this?
That went way better for MC than I was expecting right there.
I don't think Jaedong should have fought there, maybe.
No, I think that was the wrong place and time, but maybe he's getting afraid because his army's getting worse and worse as MC mines more minerals than him.
All right, 10 Zerglings. 2 Zealots and a High Templar being warped in.
Oh my god. Well, he still has that Ultra. It's definitely going to help, and in fact...
Doesn't want to lose that Ultralisk. That is an expensive unit.
certainly is, and you know what? He is backing up. Those Zerglings are going to be needed. You know what?
He may use drones here, Autosis.
He may have to use his drones in the battle, which is kind of crazy to even think, but he's not going to. He's actually just going after this Immortal, but the Immortal killing off that last Ultralisk with only Zerglings on the way. I don't know if Jaedong can hold on any longer.
I don't think he can. He's been evacuated. That's his only mining base now, and the drones are getting targeted down as well. With only 10 Zerglings on the way, MC takes a 74-76 supply to 29 advantage. The army supply 34 after such a game, 43 minutes.
Oh my
this
God.
Game.
It does not feel like it, Apollo. It does not feel like it at all. And in fact, MC is not mining. He's just this long distance mining. The Zerglings coming in, cleaning up quite a bit. But Jaedong's army is terrible. 21 Zerglings is his army, and those cannot beat what's left here.
And now only 17 with a few more dying off there. An Archon being made. MC has played an absolutely remarkable game to pull this back in. A phenomenal game. I cannot believe, I don't think Jaedong believes it.
This is the comeback of the year, I would say. I cannot even believe that MC has fought back when Jaedong early on killed that pylon, destroyed the rush, didn't lose his hatchery to the cannon. Everything Jaedong did was so brilliant. He even got those 2-2 upgrades for a huge Mutalisk switch, but MC fought on so bravely, and at this point, I mean, Jaedong is still killing units, but he just doesn't have what it takes to finish this off.
Oh man, he sees the army. He knows he's not building anything more. He knows that army can never be beaten. He's long distance mining. What is Jaedong going through at this point? What is he trying to think of? Where does he think he can go?
Well,
where does he think he can go from this position? If MC throws down a Nexus, which I don't even know if he wants to at this point, because I think he realizes how far ahead he is himself.
Now at this point, he can just walk across the map. His cannons can't even be killed.
Look how many units have been killed in this game.
Oh my God, 72 Mutas were killed in this game. That's 20 Ultras, 11 Vipers. 26 Archons have been killed. This is like stats that I've never even seen. Oh my God.
Unbelievable. And Jaedong's up to 450 minerals. Let's have a look at this army. It's actually 2 Archons and 2 Stalkers. Could 6 Mutalisks do it? 6 Mutalisks?
You know what? 6 Mutalisks might
do it?
If he magic boxes, catches him off guard a little bit, maybe.
Oh, he's just spending money on a hatchery.
You know, this is too tough. MC's army is going to be able to kill off anything that it runs into.
And a DT finds the hatchery on the left-hand side immediately there, and that's
he's going to have to cancel.
It's a sour taste.
Yeah, but the 3 remaining Zerglings over on this side of the map are killing off a lot of probes. This is actually a big deal. If he completely stops the mining here of his opponent, then...
The Greatest Spire's been morphed.
He wants to get a single Broodlord.
No, and he cancels it, no. Maybe 6 Mutalisks and 3 Zerglings, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, the thing is, he has 400 minerals, so he can only get 4.
Okay,
GG.
Whoa.
MC with a comeback like none I've seen in a very long time.
And then a fantastic game from MC. There's just no other way to describe it. What a comeback.
Yeah, you know what, Jaedong, there was definitely some overextending. There was definitely a few too many suicide runs with Ultralisks.
And I think he kind of realizes that now as he looks down into that screen, thinking that he could have been in the quarterfinals. But MC wins that last game after a 46-minute odd game.
Oh, if only game 3 could be like this. But after those 2 players just showed how good they were in game number 1 and game number 2, I feel like we might see a very sharp timing attack coming up next.
Belshire Vestige is the next map that we'll be going on to.
It's going to be a hard one for Jaedong.
It's predictable if MC was to go for something so aggressive off 2 bases.
Yes, and Jaedong so far has read what Protosses were doing in the early game perfectly. He's always known what was going on, even that huge gateway follow-up that MC did.
And here's the last couple of moments of that game when we saw the GG, the cancel on the Greatest Spy. That was never going to work. Jaedong realizing that this game is out of his reach.
Yeah. It's definitely a sinking feeling that he feels there, Apollo, knowing that he was so far ahead, but the boss toss fought back so valiantly and took him out.
Look at now, we even have Minsik, the SK manager, giving words of advice. He always gives words of advice over to his player.
Yeah. I don't know what advice I'd give MC right now. Something like, wow, you're really good, do that again.
I'd do the same, Autosis, exactly the same. Pat him on the back, keep going. as we get ready for this next map here at the World Championship Series Season 2 Finals. We kicked off the day with Jaedong versus Rain. We saw Jaedong go 2-0 in a one-sided series.
Yeah.
Weirdly to say.
I tell you, this one was almost one-sided as well. If the Mutalisk transition had worked like we thought it might, then, I mean, that would have been it. You know, it would have been a one-sided 2-0 from both sides. But Jaedong, I think he's not going to make a mistake like that again. You know, I don't think he's going to overestimate how far ahead he is in this game number 3.
And just to update you, Artosis, and update people at home and in the crowd as well, in the losers match, it was Wellmu versus Rain.
Yes.
Rain won 2-1.
Well, you know, Wellmu doing a great job here this weekend. Even though he's out first in the whole tournament, taking a game off MC and taking a game off Rain is pretty phenomenal.
And yeah, I mean, 2 maps off both of these players, MC and Rain. Unfortunately, as you say, is out, but that means that Rain will play tomorrow, not today. For people that follow the usual format, after this game, of course, one play goes through. We played the losers match. It goes to the loser of this game right now versus Rain. That game's not going to be played as traditional as it sounds to play it. That's going to be saved for tomorrow. So Rain's now finished for the day and will play again tomorrow. The winner of this goes to the round of 8. The loser has to come back tomorrow to play that final game against Rain.
Yeah, it's like a huge bracket stage tomorrow where we get the last competitors into that bracket and then start the bracket right off. I really kind of like the way that that's being done.
All right, well, as you can see, our next game on stream is going to be Grubby versus Bomber.
Yes.
After we finish up here with Jaedong versus MC. Quite looking forward to that one as well.
Oh God, Grubby versus Bomber is going to be fantastic. Grubby, one of the fan favorites for years and years and years. Bomber, definitely one of the favorite Koreans amongst the foreigner scene.
And Jaedong was, for you wondering why we haven't jumped into the next map, he was asking for air conditioning to be turned back on in his booth as he turned it off before things got heated after that last map, Artosis.
I understand. When I lose any game, I have to turn my fan on. Your body temperature goes up. You're like, you know, maybe I should have won.
Yeah.
And Jaedong definitely has to be just a little bit embarrassed about losing that one when he had that huge lead.
I mean, he dealt with it so well. He read his opponent so well from the very get-go. Not quite seeing the cannon rush until too late, but after that, just knew exactly what was going to happen before it happened, and he was able to set himself up so beautifully. But now we are loading into map number 3 here between these two players. Who's going to the quarterfinals? Who waits till tomorrow to find out if they can beat Rain or not?
Well, here we go, guys. Both players looking so ridiculously focused right now. Winning here is so important. You don't want to have to wait till tomorrow and play Rain. And we have up here in the top left, give it up for the boss toss. It is SKMC.
And down here, as the blue Zerg, one more time, it is EG Jaedong. Over these last few months, Artosis, casting alongside of yourself, we've said that name many a time.
We certainly have. Jaedong has been on, you know, he's been around the world, really. He's been playing a lot of events everywhere and doing a fantastic job. He does better and better and better and gets closer to winning each event, to the point where, you know, he should at this event, if he follows suit with what he's been doing, end up winning.
We'll see. This would be the ultimate stage for him to win on. Season 2 finals.
Oh yeah.
That would just be perfect, and I think he'd almost forget all those second places he had over the last few months just to win this very one. But let's talk about MCs changing things up here. I think this is a very good decision to make.
You know, he's been going for that early forge. He's even mixing a cannon rush. And when you've been playing like that, and it's Belshire vestige of all maps, your opponent will not go hatchery first. They just will not do it. They're smarter than that. So he's taken all that into consideration and is opening up with a build that's bad against a hatchery first build, which is a gateway expand.
And I love the amount of aggressive options that just this build displays. Because when Jaedong goes over here now, and sees, oh, wait a minute, there is no forge, and in a moment's time he'll see there's no nexus either. And this will automatically put Jaedong, well, it'll surround Jaedong in question marks to what's going on, especially against a player like MC.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What do you think MC is going to end up doing here, Paul? What type of opening do you like with the gateway expansion against a Zerg like Jaedong?
Well, I do like to be slightly aggressive myself, to put a bit of pressure on towards that third base, but I don't think MC would do that, because this isn't just a normal game here. I think he's portraying potential aggression and will make sure that Jaedong is very strict on how he sets his build up. He has to take an extractor. I think he may be very cautious with his drone production.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's almost a win for MC. He may not even need to be aggressive.
Yeah, you know what? This is the smart move by Jaedong. If MC were to get aggressive and Jaedong skipped that speed and he over-droned and he took that third base, MC would get a kill on it. And losing that third as a Zerg player, that's almost just a death sentence right there.
But that Zergling sees a lot of chrono boost in the Nexus, and that just adds to the story of how scary this build can be, because if all those chrono boosts get thrown into the Cyber Core now, gateways would have come down, whatever he was decided to go for. Jaedong doesn't know yet. He doesn't know.
Well, he's going to have to keep his scouting up. He does have Overlords in pretty good spots to see what's going on. And it looks like MC is going to wall in with some gateways here, and he definitely does need a wall because we do have speed already on the way.
Well, so far, all that chrono boost has only been in the Nexus, and we'll keep track of that as Jaedong does get Zergling speed himself as the main reason for getting that extractor. And we'll take a third base himself shortly, just playing it very slowly, having a look over the natural extra gateways coming down, but they weren't rushed down.
Yeah. And that's 3 gateways being put down there. And this is something Jaedong will scout. It's not like something sneaky by MC. And MC can choose to go out and attack with this. You warp in, you know, you get 2 rounds on 4 gates. 8 Zealots are going to beat a lot of Zerglings.
And there's the only probe that's on the other side of the wall off for MC, which can very easily build pylons on this left-hand side. Jaedong is actively searching for anything and everything.
Yes. Well, you know, there's nothing out there yet, so I guess there's nothing for him to find, but you think MC's actually going to go for it? Is he going to go for a big Zealot warp in? Because it seems like his probe is a little bit slow to do so.
Yeah, it is really slow. With the warp gate already finished up minutes ago, he's got a pylon down, but I don't think that he can do this. It's too far away. It's given Jaedong a lot of time here.
But you know, maybe it's slow because he knows that Jaedong knows the timing of an attack like this. Like, if he does get in 2 warp-in rounds, he absolutely can go up, snipe the hatchery, and teleport home with his mothership core.
Well, Jaedong's still on search for this pylon and probe. He hasn't found anything yet. Is he going to check down this left-hand side one more time? He's searching all over the place. Extra gateways coming in for MC. Look at that in the production tab in his main base.
Well, he's moving out with a pretty strong army so far. That's a lot of sentries in there, Apollo. Now, we do have roaches on the way for Jaedong. We do have speed out already.
Jaedong on the natural sees chrono boost going into the gateways. He sees no gases. He has to know what's going on now.
Without any doubt, Apollo, I think you're right. Jaedong, is he going to counterattack, though? He also knows that that Wallen is pretty weak right now with only a single sentry, but I think he needs every unit to try to hold this attack.
All right, he's going to go for the pylon. There's another one further down, so he will potentially try to bring one down. I don't think he saw the back one here. There's a lot of units. 1 sentry, 1 at a time.
Yeah, got 1 there. Very well done. Now we do have some force fields going down, and the roach is starting to come up. Can Jaedong actually stop all these sentries? Oh! And I tell you what, this is some really good force fields coming down. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose that mothership core, though.
Oh,
and he's going to lose it.
But does MC have enough? There's a lot of force fields coming down. He's really running out of force fields. A lot of units are on the way here. Jaedong keeps on bringing in units, but likewise does MC. More and more units are being warped in here.
You know, those force fields working out actually for Jaedong at the end there. Now, we do have a lot of roaches being warped in. Not that many force fields left. In fact, no force fields left now, so those sentries are just weak units. And is he going to be able to actually hold this? This is a lot of speedlings and roaches coming.
It's a lot of units. Another sentry comes back. I think that was actually from the wall. It was to prevent counterattacks, and upon realizing that, he brings everything down here. MC microing as much as he can. Jaedong likewise trying to do the same, but MC's powering through.
MC is indeed Apollo. Still more units being made by Jaedong, but there's a very good chance he's going to be able to get this hatchery.
Oh, and Jaedong doesn't really want to lose that hatchery. Transfuse comes down on one of these units. He's continuing to try to hold, to try to keep going. But look at this, the hatchery now going down under half health. The supply so close. And remember, throughout all of this, the income's been hurt for Jaedong. It hasn't for MC.
I tell you what, that is very true, but Jaedong is starting to get a really big supply
what a force
here.
field.
Oh, that was beautiful. The Zealots pinning everything against that force field and the Vespene Geyser. And for sure, he's going to get this hat-trick, going ahead, targeting it down. But there's a lot of units out for Jaedong. I don't know that these Protoss units are going to get home.
All right, well, we'll see as Jaedong continues to micro. This fight's been going on for a long few minutes. The last sentry does come down, but more units have been warped in. Jaedong's continuing to make units as well, streaming them across. A lot of these roaches are low health.
Well, he's trying to just kill off this entire army. More Speedlings coming in as well, but Jaedong finally starting to pull back. He's taken a lot of damage, Apollo, and from here, MC, well, he's still warping in a lot of units. Is he just going to continue this push?
Well, roach speed is on its way, and more roaches are coming in here. Remember, Jaedong still got 41 drones across 2 bases. He hasn't lost any drones in this. He evacuated very early. Sure, he's not mining. He doesn't have that extra production, but is MC overcommitting? Can he still do it?
I think this might be overcommitting, but the Zealot's getting good surface area on those Zerglings. A lot of roaches. And those roaches going to be able to clean this up. It looks like I think MC has overcommitted a little bit here. And that could give Jaedong a chance to come back in.
And the roaches dancing around the Zealots to get to the Stalkers here. The Queen survives at the back, and Jaedong continues to march forward. He knows that the damage output's coming from the Stalkers if he dances around the Zealots, but 4 more Stalkers come in. But more and more roaches are coming in. Another transfuse goes down.
And yeah, this is actually an issue. There's no larva left. He's actually really low on larva and can't even produce more units right now. Finally, some are coming up, and in fact, the Queens are going to be targeted down as well. But he may have enough roaches, especially with speed finishing.
7
it
more
looks like
roaches.
he'll hold.
7 more roaches. Jaedong's taking the supply lead, 77 to 57. He's getting to the Stalkers. 2 go down here. 4 Zealots are going to drop pretty fast as well. The Mothership Core comes in one more time here. But Jaedong's dancing around the Zealots. He's bringing all the Stalkers off.
That's right. The speed on the roach is really helping him out now. This attack for MC, I would say, is pretty over. He's going to go ahead and get this hatch one more time. But, this is... I feel like he needs to stop warping in units down here.
Oh, he's continuing to do it. He wants to keep on powering in through. I'm losing my words because I can't believe that Jaedong, this fight's been going on for like 5 minutes now between the two, and Jaedong is edging forward. He's going to push the Mothership Core back again with 7 more roaches. His lava injects, his Queens.
And look at this, once again the hatchery going up. Jaedong says, I am taking this base no matter what. His Queen's coming up. The Mothership Core gonna die once again.
And Jaedong's gonna do it. He's gonna push us back. No units can be warped in here. That one Zealot's just a waste, I feel there. And MC down in supply, and Jaedong, what a struggle, but what a hold.
A fantastic hold, but I feel like MC may have overdone that a bit, Apollo. You know, he doesn't really have tech behind this. He's lost every unit. He's been warping so long, and, you know, Jaedong has slowly but surely been teching during this.
And one thing is just the resilience from Jaedong, never to give up. He lost his third. A lot of Zerg players just quit there, right then, but he kept on going. He pushed himself back to 2 bases. Even his second base was getting pushed back.
Well, Apollo, you're MC in this position, and you're playing against a Jaedong that you know has more tech, who's taking his 3rd base again. What type of tech do you want to go for?
Oh, yeah, at this point, you're low in economy. You need to utilize everything you've got. It's either you just go with a +1 attack and go again, maybe Twilight Council for Blink to make sure you can really use the Stalk as well. But you can't focus on anything other than, you know, maximizing the efficiency of your unit.
Yeah.
You're not going to have the sheer amount.
MC right now walking out. Both his sentries going down. Some Stalkers being picked off as well. Some really nice micro here by Jaedong. And forces MC back in. And I think this is what this game might just look like from now on. MC trying to come out and Jaedong pushing him back.
Jaedong's about to go up to 60 drones across 3 bases. He's starting his Hydralisk production. At the moment, it is only Gateway units.
Yeah. Roach Hydra against Gateway units is very strong indeed. MC just really needs something else. And, you know, he's starting to buy a lot of sentries, but he's lost so many so far. And by buying sentries, that says, hey, I can't really buy a lot of other high gas units or upgrades.
And well, 13 sentries have been lost in this game. That's a lot of sentries. 66 roaches. It's a lot of roaches been lost as well as 72 Zerglings.
It is. But you know what? I'm liking the position for Jaedong much more than MC here, and I think he is too, and I think MC realizes this. But this is like the last game that we saw. MC, it doesn't matter what position he's in. He knows what to do. He has a plan, and he'll execute it as good as anyone in the world could. So if there's any chance to come back, he can do it.
Do you think now that Jaedong, unlike previously, gets more aggressive? He has 3 Overlords building up his supply at this moment. 5 Overlords.
Well, I think he's stacking Overlords right now to make sure that he can make units when need be, but he doesn't want to get too aggressive too quickly. If he does something way cost inefficient, then MC can come back like in the previous game with the Ultralisks.
All right, well, we'll see if MC can make another comeback here. He is once again trailing here. Remember, the winner of the series, hold that thought though, Jaedong comes in from one right side, good forces by MC, but he's got to be careful the backside here. Hydra has come in from behind.
Oh, and this is bad. The Zealots all stuck in there, and beautiful attack here by Jaedong, the great flank. And MC with so few force fields left, he does throw down a couple beautiful ones as Zealots going forward, but there's just too much damage output from Jaedong.
Oh, Jaedong pushing through here, and he breaks down the forces of MC, breaks down the third base, which is never going to be mined from anytime soon with the amount of units that Jaedong has on the way as well. And he's almost there, he's almost done it, 145 to 65.
This is it. I don't think there's any way for MC to hold from here. Apollo, he's making Immortals, he's getting as many Stalkers and Zealots as possible, but you really are going to need force fields against this as well.
Oh yeah, because, I mean, the units can just march forward towards that Immortal, and I think they will very shortly. And then the march forward happens. The Immortal 1 gets targeted down. The second one will probably fall very, very shortly as well.
GG! And Jaedong is our first player to advance to the round of 8.
I don't think Jaedong thought MC would be the more difficult opponent out of MC and Rain, but he has done it. 2-0 versus Rain, 2-1 over MC, and Jaedong goes to the quarterfinals.
Absolutely fantastic play from both MC and Jaedong, but maybe a little bit of an overextension there.
An overextension from MC, but Jaedong capitalizing on everything, every little thing he could do. He jumped at the chance, jumped at the opportunity. And well, Jaedong, not too many people expected him to get out of this group autosis. He's in first place. First place,
it's an amazing thing. I can't even believe it. His play against Protoss has improved just so much over the past few months. We've seen him do better and better, for instance, against Stardust in the DreamHacks. Now here today against Rain and MC, 2 of the best, winningest Protosses in the entire world.
And you can just see his reaction there, how happy he was with beating those 2 players. And he's done it, so congratulations there to Jaedong. He does move on to the round of 8. Group A is done for now. Of course, MC now needs to just gather himself, pick himself up ready for tomorrow, where he will open the day up against Rain, and he must beat Rain in a PvP, in a best of 3, if he wants to go to the quarterfinals as well.
Well, that's going to be a great match. MC and Rain, they're actually 2 of the only Protosses out of 3 that have actually won championships in Korea. So that's like the ultimate PvP, and when they have a whole day to try to prepare against each other, they're going to bring some special stuff to the table.
They are going to bring some super special stuff to the table. And of course, once we get over to the winners interview, we'll be going over to Group B autosis.
We certainly will. I cannot even wait to see that Grubby against Bomber.
Grubby
Some
versus
favorites
Bomber,
right there.
And then of course Polt versus First, of the other 2 players, which are currently already playing on stream too. But it is now time to hear from the man himself. Take it away with Jaedong.
All right, we are here with Jaedong once again, but this time as the first person to be going into the round of 8 and finish in the top 8 minimum here at WCS Season 2 Finals. Give a big round of applause to Jaedong of Team Evil Geniuses. Now there's a lot to talk about in this matchup. I'm sure everyone is eager to hear from Jaedong on what was going through his head. We had a comeback in Game 2 that might have put him off a little bit, but Jaedong stands strong, comes back for the win. So let's just go through the whole match, guys, and let's see what Jaedong was thinking in that booth.
저희 그러면 첫째로 뭐 축하드리고요. 이제 이번 매치가 좀 굉장히 많이 왔다 갔다 한 것 같아요. 처음에는 이제 첫째 세트에서는 어느 정도 무난하게 이기신 것 같았는데 첫째 게임 끝나고선 어떤 생각을 하셨나요?
첫 경기도 그렇고 두 번째 경기도 중간에 이겼다고 생각했는데 두 번째 경기는 너무 방심해서 진 것 같아요.
And, we're talking about, what were you thinking after that first game? It worked out pretty well. And Jaedong says, first game and second game, actually, about halfway through, I thought I had won. But I think my problem was exactly that in game two, that I relaxed a bit too much. I was a bit too confident in my win, and that brought the comeback from MC.
저희 첫째 게임에도 잘 하셨지만 그 다음에 뭐 MC 선수도 이제 계속 공격을 하시고 그러면서 이제 계속 잘 참으셨어요. 뮤타로 계속 잘 참으시다가 반이 집으로 다시 오니까 그때서야 이제 돌아가면서 그 나머지 남은 뭐 거신한 한두 개하고 그렇게 추격자를 공격을 하셨는데 딱 그 순간을 기다리고 계셨던 건가요? 그 반을 나누기를 분대를?
일단 상대 유닛 조합이 추적자 위주라서 제가 유닛을 전술적으로 활용만 잘 하면은 어떻게든 기회가 올 거라고 생각했는데 마침 상대가 반으로 나눠서 그때가 기회라고 생각하고 그때 거의 무조건 이겼다 생각했어요.
And of course, game one, we have so many highlights in my opinion from this matchup, but game one, there's that moment where MC brings about half of his army back in that recall, and talking to Jaedong, were you waiting for exactly that moment, that strategy to come through? And Jaedong says, well, he had a ton of stalkers, and that just meant that I had to play my units very carefully and very skillfully, bring out maybe some mind games to beat that composition out. It just so happened that MC gave that perfect opportunity to me, splitting his army in half, bringing it back, and I said, this is the moment to win, went back and took the victory to get that game one win.
자, 그러면 이제 둘째 게임에 어느 정도 초반에 저글링들이 쭉 들어가서 메인까지 들어가서 그 수정탑 하나를 깼어요. 그래서 뭐 5개나 6개 다 꺼졌는데 그때 어떻게 생각하셨어요?
그때 너무 속으로 실수만 안 하면 이길 거라고 생각을 했는데 중반까지 잘 하다가 너무 플레이를 너무 고집을 해서 진 것 같아요.
And of course in game two, Jaedong got that one pylon powering about 5 or 6 gateways, and he said, right from there I knew if I didn't make any more mistakes, I would be winning this game. But I think I became too stubborn in my play in game two, stuck a little bit too much to my own plans, and that brought about my own collapse, bringing it to a full best of 3.
자, 그러면 이제 둘째 게임 끝나고서 둘째 게임이 그리고 길었어요. 꽤 이제 한 40 몇 분 지나갔는데 둘째 게임 끝나고선 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요? 셋째 게임 이거 진짜 내가 이겨야 되는 매치인데 어떻게 준비하셨나요?
그냥 두 번째 게임도 제가 실수를 너무 많이 했기 때문에 패배를 했다고 생각을 하고 세 번째 경기에서는 그냥 하던 대로 집중만 잘 하면은 제가 이길 거라고 생각하고 그냥 편하게 했어요.
그럼 그 둘째 게임 끝나고도 어느 정도 그냥 시간만 잠깐 쉬면 그 정도 다시 집중력이 돌아오세요?
네, 마인드 컨트롤 했어요. 그 두 번째 게임 아쉽게 졌지만 그냥 빨리 잊어버리려고 했습니다.
And talking about how that game 2 loss affected Jaedong, Jaedong says, what it is for me, we have Grubby walking by in the backstage, but Jaedong says, what it was for me, it was a loss. I had to move on, and I just said, what, forget it. This isn't the time to think about it. Not think about game 2 at all. Just focus and actually relax a lot more. Play in a more comfortable setting for game 3, leading to a win.
자, 그러면 이번 WCS 결승 첫째로 이제 8강에 진출을 하셨는데 소감 한마디만 말씀해 주세요.
일단 3프로토스 조에 속해서 많이 떨어질 거라고 예상한 걸 많이 봤는데 일단 올라가서 너무 기쁘고요. 최대한 그러니까 제 실력을 많이 보여드릴 수 있도록 즐기겠습니다. 네.
Alright, well, first guy moving on to the round of 8, Jaedong says, I know a lot of you guys, I know a lot of people expected me to actually get knocked out because I was up against 3 Protoss. Well, I'm glad I could show you who I really am and how skilled I really am as a player in this matchup to be moving on as first place in Group A. So give Jaedong another big round of applause, guys, for finishing as the first person to go to the top 8 of the Season 2 finals. But of course, this match, a full best of 3, so much to talk about. So why don't we take it to Rotterdam to break down the game a little bit for us.
Hi guys, welcome back. And indeed, like, I am still stunned whatever series I've just seen. I've seen a lot of PvZ series in my life, but I seriously think that this one was one of the best I've ever seen. Every game, like I always discuss with the people I'm watching, I was like, Jaedong's winning. No, wait, MC is winning. I was wrong multiple times every single game. And I really wanted to analyze Game 2, I really did, because I think Game 2 on Whirlwind was absolutely fantastic, but I wouldn't even know where to start. Of course, there were a couple of bad fights here and there, you could point it out, but that game was nuts. I've never seen a PvZ like that. And well, I decided not to go with game number 2 because I think I would have been standing here for half an hour trying to analyze every single thing, and I wouldn't make much sense anyways. Game 3 was really cool too, great micro from Jaedong, absolutely fantastic hold. Several times I thought MC had it, but we almost forgot about game number 1 on Newkirk, which was a sick game, and I actually want to talk a little bit about this game. The early game was already crazy. For a while I thought we were going to see 2-base play out of MC, but that wasn't the case. We can go a little bit faster, and if you look at the supply, 177 supply from Jaedong against 135. Jaedong once more setting up a good flank. I did not think that MC was going to survive this. Yeah, sure, he has a reasonable army, he has good force fields and potent overcharge, but his army just kind of sucks against Hydralisk. Let's be honest, Zealots, Gateway units, a few Void Rays, they are not good. The first Colossus comes in and that could be the hero to save the day as those force fields are going down. But while this Nexus is so exposed right now, I thought, okay, MC is going to lose his Nexus and he's in trouble. But if we speed up this fight a little bit, we can see the Nexus taking a lot of damage, like over 1,000, but it's not going to die. Potent Overcharge keeps doing damage, and eventually it's like, hey, what the hell, MC just hold this fight. This one Colossus being so important. Like if we click on this Colossus right now, I have no idea how many kills it has. Already 12, and those were not Zerglings, those were mostly Hydralisk. So from this point on, I'm suddenly like, hey, this is actually pretty good for MC. So if we fast forward for, let's say, a good minute or something, it's like, okay, MC can just macro up on Colossus, Void Rays, and you know, you look at the supply and you're like, all right, Jaedong is gonna save up a lot of money, but is this really a position where you can go into a Muta switch? Muta switches are fantastic if you're actually in a really good position, but I am not sure if Jaedong is ahead in this phase of the game. And going for a Muta switch then, I think is kind of risky. We can see MC has more supply. I think, okay, MC is gonna kill this 4th base, he might kill the natural or the 3rd base, then he can recall home. Even if he loses 1 out of 2 bases, if he just cannons up there, I think he's going to be in a great position. But actually, if we just fast forward, we can see that MC is gonna see those Mutalisks and decides to recall immediately while only killing 1 base. I personally thought that this was a mistake. I think he should have kept pushing his luck, just cannon up, sacrifice 1 out of 2 bases, and make sure that he at least keeps 2 bases alive. Because Jaedong was not that rich that he was able to make like 35 or 40 Mutalisks immediately, and right now MC kind of let Jaedong alive. And the moment you find yourself in a position like this as Protoss, it is really hard. Like, I personally find this a nightmare to play against. MC has shown us in the past that he can play against Mutalisks without Phoenixes, but it is so hard, and we can see Jaedong just utilizing the mobility of those Mutalisks like to maximum value. Every now and then he flies in, kill a few Stalkers, and above all he takes the entire map. And soon we're going to see the crucial point once more. Over there we had a couple of pylons which I think have a specific name, but I'm not going to mention them. Losing those pylons kind of hurt because that meant he was going to lose all those pylons. But still, you know, like, okay, I am not sure if Jaedong is rich enough to pull this off in the long run. But here we're going to have an extreme deja vu of WCS America. Suddenly we can see that MC decides to return half his army here with that recall. Was it on purpose or not? I am actually not sure about it. This is the exact same thing that happened when Jim played against Jaedong at WCS America, and Jaedong is like, oh, that's really nice, you only have half your army here. Let's fly back to the other side of the map so I can kill all these Mutalisks. And that is exactly going to happen. I do not think that Jaedong has a German/Russian accent, but if he would have, he would sound like that. And these storms are crazy by MC, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. He lost so many Stalkers. Bizarre game, as bizarre as game 2, as bizarre as game 3. Absolutely fantastic series. I'm gonna give it back to Red Eye to wrap up this series, but I had no idea where to begin. I really enjoyed this series, and if this is just the start of this weekend, we're going to have a fantastic weekend. Red Eye, back to you.
Thanks very much, Rotterdam, and thank you to Apollo and Artosis for the first game and the second game in Group A. We will be back shortly with Group B. Just a quick reminder for you, if you're watching from home and you want a bit of a better experience, you can sign up for the premium right now. You can get 1080p plus. You'll also get some little chat icons, and you get subscriber chat, which means right now in Twitch it's going to be GG heaven. Yeah, go for it, Twitch chat. Sorry, mods, I always do that. Right, we're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, it's Europe's finest son of StarCraft going head-to-head with Bomber. It's Grubby versus Bomber next.